What was it like to jump into the harbour? How was the party at the palace?
Well, I don't want to know what it was in the water, first of all, in the harbor, but it was enjoyable, very fresh, refreshing after a hot race. And it was good, it was a good moment with the whole team. It was a good moment to share and to witness as well. And I think it's one of those moments that you remember, you will remember forever. And I think also seeing the team so happy and involved really made me happy as well. So definitely it was very cool. But of course, Monaco is in the past now, and obviously we have Barcelona this weekend. We'll try to repeat ourselves, even though it's not gonna be easy. And then about the party at the gala was cool. I mean, I'm not used to do these kind of things, but it was a really cool experience, and definitely it wouldn't be bad to be back next year as well.
I don't know. It feels great. I mean. I knew it would get to this point at some point. I knew that last year was a building year, and I knew that if we acted on the things that I'd asked for, and we would eventually get to where we're going. We still have work to do. We're still not there just yet, but the things that I was asking for last year, I've got a car that I've had input into helping develop. Adding things to new ways that we work together. Fred's been great in collaborating with me, and it feels great to be part of that and see progress.
It's like I said at Monaco, I'm just dying to have a smooth weekend. I'm not asking for the world to give me luck. I just want a neutral luck. That's how it goes in racing sometimes. I've had 6 races. Monaco and Miami, honestly speaking, my performance wasn't strong enough. The other 4, I think my performances have been very strong. But we stood here, probably could have had 3 more podiums if things had just gone normal. I didn't need any good fortune, just normality. That's where we are. There's nothing I can change. I'm just super focused on my controllables, on what I can do to keep on improving. And I'm feeling good, I'm feeling positive, and if these things outside of my control continue, then we're going to continue, and if I don't, then fantastic.
Well, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but yeah, I mean, it's not so different to what I had said right after, but yeah, now we focus forward, and we'll try to maximize this weekend. And hopefully get back on the podium and get some good points, and surely Monaco hurts, but it's the way it is now. I cannot change that anymore, and I've got to look forward.
Obviously Monaco was tough last week. Of course, we're still able to salvage a pretty reasonable result on my side, but yeah, we clearly weren't quick enough to challenge for even for the position we finished. So. Hopefully we can improve from that for sure. I think hopefully Canada even Canada until Sunday was certainly not bad. So hopefully we've learned a few things about some of the conditions we're in, some of the corner types, and hopefully it's a bit track specific. But we'll find out this weekend. So it's going to be a good test on a, let's say, more normal circuit here. To see where everyone stacks up.
We have to be more optimistic. Of course, it just wasn't a good weekend altogether. Of course, the result for Oscar ended up not being too bad, but just a tough weekend on pace. For me, reliability, obviously not finishing another race, just was painful. But the whole team, HPP and McLaren, they've all been on it to try and understand things, fix things, try and make sure it doesn't happen again. But it's also racing sometimes. So we're head down. I'm more optimistic for this weekend. I have been. I just wasn't the most optimistic for Monaco, and it turned out to be accurate. So I'm happy to be back here and try and show the signs of pace that we had both in Montreal and we had in Miami.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Monaco was super disappointing, of course, for a race result, and then the race was, I guess, also quite hectic and a bit unexpected with some things happening out of the blue. I mean, I was watching it from home, but yeah, I mean, of course, I'm happy for him. I think a Monaco podium is always very special, so it's nice to be there. And at the same time, yeah, it's been, I would say, I think for both of us, challenging in different ways, right? I mean, he arrived to a top team, and we were, of course, struggling a bit with the car. For me, the opposite, where of course you've been fighting for a lot of wins, and then you take a little bit of a step back, is not nice. And a lot of things from the car side as well that we wanted to get right. But working with Isaac has been great. I mean, he's been a really good teammate, and yes, he's been a bit vocal on the radio sometimes, but at the same time, I guess, you know, you always want the best performance, you always want to maximize things.
Just happy with the results. No, I mean, we know what we're doing, no boost confidence, but yeah, of course it feels good to be rewarded. But you go into this weekend, you expect a similar performance to a track like Japan, high-speed corners, energy demanding track, so you're doubting a lot. But since then we've had upgrades on the car, and we made sure when we come back to this type of tracks we are feeling better, so tomorrow we'll know more.
Monaco is very special, and I think especially where we started the weekends, we weren't actually very competitive, and we changed so much on the car over the weekend. So, and then the Sunday was just an emotional roller coaster. I didn't think I was going to race. I got to the garage and the car was in pieces. We had an issue, and the team did an amazing job to put it together. And I got out, did one lap to the grid basically. So we didn't really get to feel balance or anything like that. But yeah, we survived, which at the moment I think is a bit of, you know, what's been working for us at the moment. Obviously, we've got to try and keep that consistency, but we've been reasonably competitive, but just in the right place. And when people have had issues, we've been able to capitalize on it. And I think that's really what happened in Monaco. So it was cool.
I think it's just kind of shows a bit the trend since the start of the year. We've managed to, you know, qualify in Q3 a couple of times. We managed to score points in every single round. I mean, the hard work of the team, you know, from 2025 to really focus on these new regs, which is paying off. Still gotta, you know, keep working hard because we see a lot of development in the paddock, but we're also doing our own work. And I think Monaco was sort of where we've kind of been like since the start of the year, like edging the midfield, and the whole race and the way that it panned out, we were in the right place at the right time and managed to put ourselves third on the road. Yeah.
You know, I think we were maybe on par with Liam sitting next to me. Maybe if it was a normal qualifying, let's say. Of course, it's never a normal qualifying in Monaco, but we got a bit unfortunate with the red flag, the timing of the red flag. After that, I tried really hard to of course improve my lap time, but my tires were just not in the temperature window. And you know, around Monaco, when you can't do anything if you have no grip. And I did my very best, but it just missed out by a tenth or so. After that, the race was the race. You know, we saw some stuff happening, but unfortunately, I had an issue of my own on the brakes, and yeah, we had to retire the car. But I think in case of a clean quali, I would have liked to think we could have been fighting with the V carbs, maybe Alpine as well. Actually, we were quite competitive in Monaco, so yeah, I was looking forward to that. But at the end, after a bad quali, you can't really come back at all.
Generally, feeling more comfortable in the car and feeling more together, a bit more connected, and it's. I think it all went in the right direction after that little break before Miami, and yeah, just I think we did the right steps and we find some things that really helped to put me in a better place, and yeah, just feeling a bit more connected with the car, that really helps here this year with the energy. There is many factors that play a big part in the performance, and I think we are being more consistent and just in a better place since a little break.
I mean, in the end it was obviously a very good day for myself and the team. We executed a good race. I'm also going to be honest, you know, we were fortunate with the red flag. You know, that did help me out a lot. But, you know, on the other hand, I was very unfortunate in Canada, and I would have been fighting for, on merit, P6 or P7. So, I think it came back round the luck, you could say. So obviously it was a very good day. I think we've had a good couple of weeks now. I'm feeling more comfortable in the car, as I'm just getting more knowledge, more experience. So looking forward to this weekend now.
I think in Monaco we had a very solid weekend, but unfortunately we didn't manage to bring the points home after that incident. 8-9 laps to go, but it's a P9 or a P10. I've realized that when I go to sleep on a Monday, I don't care that much about a P9 or a P10 because in the end what I'm here for is for podiums, wins, top fives, and that's my ultimate target. So if there's going to be any racing incidents that take away the P9, is that day I'm going to be frustrated, but then I can get over it very quickly. So Barcelona, I think it's clear it's going to be more frustrating weekend for us. I think Williams is known for having a bit of a weak track here in Barcelona. I think this year's car shouldn't be particularly good for here, but at the same time, it's a great opportunity for us as a team to understand why and see where our weakness lies on. So I think we're going to put everything we have to understand that and to try and make progress. Having said that, I'll try and score points.
We still have a bit to go. I think Monaco is quite specific because it's Monaco. I wouldn't be surprised this weekend if we're on the back foot. Just this track historically hasn't gone well for us, and we've seen in the data from the first few races this year already, it's likely not going to suit us again. But that's actually interesting. I think we can use this now to really experiment with the setup, go for something that maybe we haven't been brave enough to do so far this year, and see if we can get some direction of where we want to go for the rest of the year.
Felt definitely great. Yes, the luck was against us most of the season. I think this time it really was a normal race, and we could play to the chaos to our advantage. So that was very nice. Very happy with the turnaround that we did, because we deserve more from qualifying. So it's great for the whole team, great for the morale of everyone, and I hope that we can have one more weekend in the right way.
Obviously, it was disappointing to not be able to deliver the results that I believe we had potential. I think we have been in the top 10 the whole weekend, and then quali cost me my weekend basically, especially Monaco that you cannot overtake. So yeah, definitely disappointing one, because there was points available in the table for us there.
Basically, I don't think that he made a huge difference on the weekend. We score a point because different things happened on the race, and penalties and DNFs and things like that. But we cannot hide the truth that we were uncompetitive also in Monaco, and we didn't deserve the point probably, but in terms of pure pace. But yeah, I think this year is going to be difficult to score points for any team, as the four top teams are always, if everything goes normal, on the top 8 positions, and then only remains 9th and 10th. And yeah, Alpine could be easily 5th fastest car, and then as I said, to grab any point, I think you need some help from the cars in front, and in Monaco it was extra help.
At the end of the day, more disappointing weekend. Unfortunately, in Q2 we picked up some aero damage in the car, which we only saw after quali, and that explained a little bit why we, fell back during the course of quali. So obviously very bad timing and very frustrating and disappointing to have something like that happen when the most important and crucial session of the weekend, because every other session and up until that point it was looking very, very strong and good, obviously. In the race, it was difficult from where we were, and then Williams obviously doing their thing in terms of strategy there, which is obviously again frustrating, sitting behind that. But the performance was good, it was encouraging, it was there. It just were a few circumstances that stopped us from having a better result.
Still improving each weekend. We still know we gotta make the car faster, but events like that, there's always opportunities, and we almost got some points, which is good to see. And it's a new weekend, new opportunity, and still we are making steps, and it's not always visible, but hopefully soon.
Bit of mixed emotions, It it's a great story, you know, on our sixth race to make it to the points. It was a fantastic couple of laps that I did out there. And unfortunately, yeah, it meant that in the end we received the penalty. Lesson take from it. I always try to make, when you try to do everything so much on the limit, you know, making your burnouts as late as possible and trying to maximize every single centimeter out there. It can go wrong as it happened. But let's take the positives and I expect this weekend that it will be a little bit harder for us, you know, with all the high-speed content and the lack of load we currently have. So we'll see what we are able to do around here.
Yeah, we're working on the upgrade package, which will come for race 11, 12, 13. We're not exactly sure when, as quickly as we can bring it whenever it's ready. So that's what everyone's been focusing on.
And a hard-earned point for the team on the board last weekend in Monaco as well. Has that given people inside the team a little bit of a lift at this point?
I mean, it's nice to have 1 point instead of no points, but we were still, you know, very slow in Monaco. We were the last team, and circumstances, you know, gave us a point. But we know that, you know, we need to be, we don't want to be just going around for 1 point. You know, we want to be fighting up at the front of the grid. So yeah, we're not where we want to be.